Hey everyone, welcome to Pop XP. And before the show starts, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload awesome new content. And don't forget, if you can, make sure to share our stream on all your social media outlets. We appreciate it, and thanks for helping us grow the Pop XP channel. Hey, what is going on, YouTube? It's the brain of the mainframe here now, Sky with the Pop XP, and joining me, as always, is the teen sensation himself, Mr. Billy Tucci. And the man that makes us coast to coast, he's representing the West Coast. Branded Billy Tucci. We got Mr. Adam Lawson in the house.
Dude, it's good to be back. You know, I've been a little bit out from the Pop XP because, you know, little baby boy, Oliver Noah Lawson.
Welcome to fatherhood. Oliver, what's his name?
Noah Lawson. Oliver Noah Lawson.
Oliver Noah Lawson. You know, that's far better than what our guest is going to name his baby.
Yes,
and we'll learn that what he's going to learn his baby. For those of you that have been living under a rock for the past 3 months,
Daddy Lawson.
Daddy Lawson.
Thank you, TJ. Thank you,
Daddy Lawson.
So it feels good to be here with you, Billy. And I know you've had some troubling times, but it's good to see your face and that smile.
This year sucks. And now even my hometown has 2 tragedies today, and it's my little town on Long Island, and it's just. But show must go on, right, fellas?
Show must go on. Show must go on.
Show must go on.
Yeah, totally.
And I think with that, Billy, you know, without further ado, man, let's get
is that a segue?
That's a segue. I think we just get this party started.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So with everyone, please welcome Cat Pappy himself, Mr. Shane Davis. Yo!
Yeah, so Shane has so many intros.
Yeah.
He's got a cartoon that I saw 4 seconds of the new Shane Davis cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been doing this show with Nile Scala for 2.5 years, and I still don't have a damn intro.
Yeah.
Really?
Nile, how is that possible? I
don't know. We need some fans out there to make some cool intros. That's what we need.
Yeah. Maybe get our fans to do it, because I got to tell you, man, you know how I feel about this?
How do you feel?
Sorry.
Shane, I do feel like, though, the red tracksuit to the black tracksuit, I feel like there's probably a gun on you somewhere. There's probably a drug deal going on. You have strong Armenian connections. I can see that. You know, I like the red and black tracksuits.
Not really. Yeah, it moves around a little bit. I was like right away, I'm like, I wear Adidas a lot. I'll just wear it on YouTube. And then I'm like, then somebody was like, you never change clothes. So then I have all these Adidas suits just to look like I take a shower. Like that was it. I was doing your YouTube videos. You're like, you wore the same suit 2 times in 2 videos. It's like, yeah, I it was 2 times in 1 day. It's like, what do you want? So now I'm like, okay, new video. I got to switch to the red jacket. Now I got to switch to the green jacket. Now I got to switch to the black jacket. Now I have 2 black. You know, so it's like,
love it.
Yeah,
it's like you open your closet and it's just like arranged, color coordinated, just all Adidas suits right there, all coordinated through.
Yeah, and I like, for people that know, like I'm really into kickboxing, and so I'm always going to the gym. And what happens is like you won't lose clothing, so you can, because I'm not going to walk around in my tie shorts all the time. So I got to go to the store or whatever. So I got like Adidas pants I got to yank on and yank off, and I just wear Adidas all the time. That's it. It's not any Armenian thing necessarily.
Yes, so you're not.
That guy
is Shane Russian?
I have a deep love of Armenians. I live in Burbank, Glendale area, so we have a really big community. My neighbor we get along super well, and so he and I often joke about that. But
I had a friend that did get jumped by some Armenians. They were fighting over a parking space, and he popped out of his car. He was on a date, so I think he was trying to impress the girl, and he's like, hey, whatever. And 3 Armenian guys came out, stomped the crap out of him, and broke his eye socket.
Well, I think speaking of Armenians, I think we got the Armenian Knight right here. There he is. What's up?
He is.
Oh,
don't mess with Armenians.
No, they know how to pack a punch. They know how to pack a punch.
They'll fuck you up.
Good dudes.
For real. They'll fuck you up, man.
Yeah.
The ones I know are in the Bronx, and you don't mess with them. Those are the only ones I know.
No.
And then you got is that a General Urko shirt you got on there?
Yeah, it's a awesome
Badass.
kind of Go Ape
Go Ape.
camp, adventure
Nice.
on Earth. I like that.
Yeah,
Adventures
dude.
on Earth.
Look at that.
Nice.
I think that's Urko. I think it is.
I think so.
Yeah,
I
because
bought.
Ursus had that cool helmet. General Ursus had that really cool helmet. I think that's Urko.
I gotta rewatch the first film. Somebody messaged me today. They put it back up on HBO Max. My DVD collection's in storage, so I'm like, I gotta watch it again. I love the first original movie.
Yeah.
The other Planet Apes, not so much. Did you ever like the TV show, Billy?
Yeah, I loved it.
Did they only go like one season?
Yeah.
I thought it was. I thought it was more than one season.
Was that the cartoon that only ran one season? I have it, man. I got it on the Plex, bro.
Yeah, you got it on the Plex.
Yeah.
I got it on the Plex.
You got the Laserdisc, I'm sure.
Yeah. I do have Laserdisc. I'm actually in search. Anyone out there in the tri-state area that's willing to get rid of a 1984 to 1990 TV, let me know. I'm trying to make it authentic here.
Well, you see, here's the funny thing: is that I have a laser
Legit.
Yeah, I have a Laserdisc player, and I have 125 Laserdiscs.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. One of which
I have 4.
One of which is the Star Wars, the trilogy.
Yes.
So it came out in like 95, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Han still shoots.
Wow.
But it's a cool explosion for the Death Star. But so when we're going way back. This might have been when episode 1 came out, whatever the hell that was called. I don't even remember because it sucked. And I'm like, all right, guys, we're gonna watch Star Wars on the big, our big TV. Mm-hmm. And so we watched episode 1, and the sound is really good because it's got the Dolby sound. But dude, it looks like shit. The quality of a Laserdisc, it's like
it's VHS quality, bro.
It's terrible.
It's VHS quality. It's beautiful.
Which is 360p. It's 360p.
Trash.
DVD was an upgrade.
Trash.
I mean.
I'm just saying.
It was garbage.
Yeah.
Terrible. And then everyone just left. And I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, come on. And then I'm like, yeah, this sucks. I can't even watch this because they're all pixelated. You can't even see.
That's why I'm trying to buy the old TV.
Oh.
So then you don't notice it as bad because they're a little blurry.
Yes, because the picture sucks.
I wish you told me that because I had a 42-incher. And I got rid of it like 10 years ago, but it was massive. And my brother-in-law and I took it to Best Buy. They say if you drop stuff off at Best Buy, that they'll take it. The old TV still works and everything. But we take it. This thing had to weigh 250 pounds. So I'm ringing the door in the back, and I hear they're playing rap music like Shane Davis.
Yeah.
They're wearing the Adidas and everything. And they ran to the door. So my brother-in-law and I just left it right in front of the loading dock. Like right in front of the garage. It wasn't even a loading dock. It was just like a big garage. We left the door and we just left it there and we left. And dude, that thing was there for like 6 weeks outside. He said, like, I'm not picking that up. These guys said nobody would pick it up and bring it inside.
It's so weird how much TVs used to weigh. They were like the heaviest furniture in the house. Like they were like close to like a couch, right? Like
there's no question about it.
Yeah, but you can get the ones like, when I was a kid, that if you got the nice color TV on one side, you had then the stereo, and on the other side was the bar.
Yeah.
The record player was inside it. They were like Swiss Army knives of entertainment. Like it was like, oh, this opens up. You got a bar, you got your record player, your TV, coffee maker, and an ironing board for your wife.
Yeah,
I just remember the dial breaking off and me having to go get pliers to change the channel.
Well, hey, Adam,
and
no, you see, you guys are younger than me, but when HBO first came out, you had the brown box. That's something you should try to find, Nile. It was a box, a brown plastic box with the numbers.
Yes.
And then the channels, and the channels you paid for, the ones you got.
Yeah.
But if you just unscrewed the bottom of it, you could click on all the channels. So, because it was just like a click, or you put a wire. You just attach the wire. So say you didn't get Cinemax, you would just attach unscrew the Cinemax, like that's number channel 37, and you just put the wire and you screw it and you get Cinemax. We all did. That's fun.
So you didn't even need to just scramble it.
30 movies. Yeah. Nope. You just scrambled it. It was easy.
I remember sitting there with like the screen all fuzzy. I'm like, oh, dude, that's a nipple. Those were the days. Those were the days.
man. It's great.
The glory days. Yeah.
Speaking of those days, Shane, I know this is your show.
Yeah, please.
No, it's your show. Wait. It's your show. I'm a guest.
No, bro.
What's ours is yours.
Man, we're just squirrels trying to get nuts, bro.
We just love nuts. That's what we're trying to get.
But anyway, so I'm going through finding, because the She Omnibus edition is going to press, like I said, Friday or Monday the latest. So I'm doing a last 6 pages of like the history of She, or the evolution of She, and I'm finding all the original art, the original She art, and so I found like this is from like 1990, and it's like on animation paper, so like from college. But look, this is when I was kind of coming. Look how bad my art is, but this is like this is promo. This was
nice glutes.
Yeah, right. Look at the look at this. Look how bad. But I'm like finding all this great art. You know, well, great, but it's
it's probably 7 times better than mine right now.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool, man.
And then like look at this. This is Amanda Connor's original color note for Tomoe number 3, and she wrote me a little note. And then like the original advertise. This was in previews. This was the advertise for She number 3. Look at it.
No shit.
It's like gouache, flash paint, whatever that is, and then
it's pretty amazing.
And then I find this now, Scala.
It's like a time capsule.
And it comes to me from 1999. How long ago was 1999? 22 years ago.
It's 22 years ago.
Yeah, 22 years ago.
But it comes from Weston, Florida, and the person who sent it to me, his last name is Tartamella V.
Vinny?
So I was going to say for the people do not.
Vinny Tartamella?
There's some words there. I don't think I ever saw this. I don't know if little Vinny Tartamella was like.
Wait, you never opened it?
No.
What? Wait, hold on. We got to do something.
I did open it.
All right. So we're going to do this. My ugly mug's going to go away.
Yeah.
We got to be here for this.
And it's
like a time capsule.
Nice bubble wrap envelope.
I mean, I didn't know we were going back in time.
Like, should we?
What? Vinny Tartamella's She art that he had
Holy
done.
Shit.
So he definitely wasn't a fan. I'm sure he was already working for McFarlane by then and stuff. But look how cool this is.
That's pretty badass, bro.
He's a prince. Look at this. Look at Vinny Tartamelia. Look at his sexiness. Look at that Vinny. Look. Signed his name. Like she killed Vinny. She killed him on it.
Of course, right?
Yeah.
How fun is that, man? Vinny Tartamella. Wow. So and a bunch of other
that's incredible.
all these cool things. Like this is like from the first She trading card set. Found the original art here, and I must have messed that up, and I cut it out.
No shit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a legacy there sitting in that room with you, Billy. I feel like you have this.
It's on Image Comics paper. So Mark Silvestri sent me like I don't know,
bundles of that shit.
Probably 100 of them or so. He's like, you need real art for this. I'm like, okay.
He was trying to buy you. He was winning you over with free paper.
Sexy She. Very.
That is incredible.
Vinny Tartamella. What do you think?
Vinny Tartamella. Holy shit. We gotta get him on for that shit. Be like, bro, look what you did here. And we got real quick though. We did get a $5 super chat, 200-watt studio. Thank you. That's not cheap, Billy. The greatest thing about Laserdisc is that the soundtracks are usually the original theatrical mixes and not remixes. Picture sucks though.
Yeah, the sound came through tremendous. And then we watched Jurassic Park, and you heard, and then let's give it another chance, and it still was broken up, but the kids like Jurassic Park.
Right.
But when the Tyrannosaurus Rex roars at the end, it's the whole thing shakes.
That was my Tyrannosaurus.
Billy has a future in TV.
But I digress. Shane Davis.
Davis.
What do we got to show up on the screen?
We got some amazing stuff to show up.
And anybody who didn't back or read Starlight Cats, you should, because it is a beautiful book. I was prelude this to Inglorious Rex. It's a really beautiful book. I have it. I've read it. It's cool. It's a fun all ages tale that is, set in Singapore. It's a cool. Anyways, just pumping your horn there because it was a pleasure.
Is it going to be on our new series, Adam? Do you think we'll be chatting about that on our new series?
We might.
Oh, excellent.
Well, I'm doing my unboxing hopefully next week.
Nice. Well, there's only one thing that's more awesome than the campaign we're going to look at right now. And that's this chat tonight. We have an amazing chat tonight. There's so many great people in the chat participating. And we hope you all share the link to this campaign through all your social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Get the word out. Spread it. This is a Comicsgate hashtag. Do what you got to do. Support indie comics, man. This is it. You guys are part of it. This is the real deal. So let's check this out, man. Boom, right here.
Boom.
Shane Davis, Inglorious Rex comic book. I saw this, Shane, and seriously, I shed a tear. I said, holy shit. Look at the lines in this. Look at the art in this. Look how beautiful this book looks, man. And the concept is freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. I would, in one weird way or another, I've been trying to do a martial arts comic at DC Comics or Marvel Comics. I've had a couple of pitches, and they never really would take. And I was like, you guys just aren't getting it. They were really interested in it, and they understood, like, hey, there's action, there's muscles. Yeah, we get that, but I don't. We all know, like, the comics are really about Batman sipping tea and talking about his feelings now. You know, it's not really about, you know, fighting Ra's al Ghul or fighting ninjas or anything cool like that. So at the heart of this book, it's an action book, obviously. But, you know, I wanted to incorporate everything I like about giant monsters, about, you know, energy effects, biosuits, all of these cool things, and bundle them up together into one really cool thing. But there's a couple of movies that I really love the heart of the movie. Of course, the original Rocky IV, but also The Warrior. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Hardy.
The Tom Hardy film.
Yep, yeah.
Really, it's interesting to say that, Shane, because I feel like there's echoes of that, right? Like these down and out fighters, and there's a lot of heart in those kind of stories.
Right. The underdog story, right?
Tom Hardy, probably my favorite actor today.
I love him.
What's Warrior about?
It's about two brothers that end up in a they don't actually ever call it UFC because of branding, but they end up in like a UFC type tournament, and and there's a big $1 million purse, and they're going to end up having to fight one another, and it's actually got, is it Nick Nolte in it?
Yep.
Yeah, as the father is probably like one of his better performances. A lot of tension there, family stuff. So like, it's an awesome movie. If you haven't seen it, Billy, you definitely got to check it out. Tom Hardy is very quiet, brooding type. Probably the best physical shape he's ever been in is in that movie. He's jacked in that movie.
It was unreal, right?
Yeah, way better than Star Trek Nemesis.
When they said he was playing Bane, I was like all for it because I thought he was going to have that build, but he actually kind of lost weight for Bane, I think. He was
bigger than he was in Bane.
In The Warrior, he's huge.
Okay.
He's huge. He's probably his best physical shape. But so this book, you know, I wanted that type of family story in here. So you know, Alex is basically he's powering and taking control in a fight over his brother's Rex, which for people that don't know, in Inglorious Rex, you know, it's basically an apocalyptic future where humanity's been kind of like pushed back to extinction level by giant monsters attacking the city. So I get my Godzilla kick, you know, that check, that's done. So, you know, how do they fight back is they genetically manipulate, you know, these giant clones and they're spliced, their DNA spliced with a little cocktail. And they pilot these giant monsters to fight back the monsters attacking the city. And it's very important to them that, you know, that these beasts they're making, you know, they have a pilot. That way, you know, kind of like a car key or something. They can't just turn on the humans that built them. So the whole thing's based off of, you know, let's take the best fighters. And it's that whole thing of muscle memory, you know, like people sparring and understanding range, motion, and all of this. To me, I was like, I love giant robots, but it doesn't really make sense when you see things like Pacific Rim and they're fighting these monsters. Like, how do these robots fight? Maybe they can fight one battle, but then they're all injured or an arm's blown out or something like that. And here the monsters come again. And whereas like it makes more sense, like that you would just have giant clones and then, you know, they would heal. They would have an immune system. They would heal. Their wounds would heal. They would be able to run out and fight again another day. And then that got me in this whole, like, I don't know, like brainstorm. Like I really started digging in on this. I'm like, this makes sense. And like so you have these giant monsters that protect your city, you know, fight fire with fire. But how do you keep them from just getting fat, you know? And then you come up with competition. You come up with Rex fighting. So these things have to fight and spar one another and be competitive just to be the top Rex that gets to defend the city. So, and that's, the concept I basically came up with the book. I've been thinking about this for a long time. So I got like this a lot of world building, a lot of weird concepts, but fun stuff. In the end, I just really wanted to work on a martial arts book. But I wanted to have a lot of heart. So Alex is being promoted for the first time to be a Rex fighter. But he passes down the option to have his own cloned Rex, and he's taking on his brother's Rex, which is Rex 232. His brother died in the ring. His brother was a champion. So in this tournament, he's going to end up facing off against the opponent that killed his brother. And in the end, it's, we're going to, Alex is going to come to terms with like why he was fighting to begin with, things like that when he's in the ring. And in the tournament, and of course, we have like, Anatomic, who is the girl character that's his love interest, who is actually, he's kind of like the arm candy of her. She's kind of like a big star fighter in Rex fighting. So she's been a Rex fighter, and she's like kind of Ronda Rousey at her prime type. Everybody loves her, and he's just kind of like an MMA fighter that's kind of her arm candy. And now he's making the leap into Rex fighting, which is going to try their relationship too. Because technically one day they could be competitors. So, I've really, you can tell I've really thought all of this out. Yeah, but that's what I love about this book, right? Is Inglorious Rex 1 is really about, we're walking into this world with Alex coming from an MMA background, going into, Rex fighting, and then book 2 will go from there into them actually fighting the monsters attacking the city. So, I've really thought this out into multiple, like, I really want a type of evolution of, not really size, but just adventure. Like, I really want this book to evolve as it goes.
Yeah, I love the concept.
Do you see this, like, I know you mentioned volume 1 and volume 2. Is this an ongoing idea? Because I agree with you. This is awesome, right? Those monsters kind of gives you this feel of Attack on Titan, right? The monsters coming in,
right?
And people holding the last stand here against it, and then that evolving with like the interplay of the characters. Is this multi volumes, or where do you kind of see this?
It's definitely multi volumes. I've worked in comics like at DC for like 20 years, and like one of the things that I always saw was the trying issue is that sometimes there's not a progression with the character, like they don't really age. So they're always trapped into this having to reboot. Why has Batman got so many Robins, but he's always the same age? It doesn't really make any sense. The Robins are grown up. These are real issues that they'll talk about in editorial that they don't, like, they're always afraid to put an age down on a Robin. I remember one time I was drawing Robin and he was learning to drive, and they're like, we shouldn't do that. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? And they're like, he's aging up. That's a problem. Like, how's this going to affect Batman? How's this going to affect, whatever. I kind of like the idea of books having a sort of ending, or they're able to change and evolve. And I would like to me, I could see this being like maybe 4 volumes, and then maybe it ends and I go on to something else. Or at some point in time, I'm passing the torch on to another character in the book. I don't know, but because I know, like, I'm a big fan of like the Rocky films, especially when you get to like Rocky 5 when he's having to retire, or things like that. I mean, I even like, to some part, the Creed films. I think like they did a really good job.
I saw Creed. I started crying on the plane. I was watching on the airplane.
Yeah.
Creed, he stands up and they
that's
play
a nice
music for that last round. I'm like, oh my God. This is so
yeah.
I agree. That's a cool aspect of that there's an evolution to the story. You've taken a life's journey with him versus, like you're saying, Rocky's just 30 forever.
Yeah, so I'm really big into Thai boxing, and I go overseas. I usually live like 3 months at a time in Singapore when I stay, and sometimes I'll go to Thailand. And it's interesting because when you go overseas, fighting's different. Like, say, in Thailand, where they start boxing and competing at like, say, 14, and they usually retire at 24. Mm-hmm. And they're usually fighting to feed their families, these kids. They're still going to school, but, so fighting's kind of like different mindset depending on where you're at, Eastern or Western. And it's not really a martial art to them. It's just a way of living. You know, they fight twice a month, and, you know, they don't really, you know, they go through a lot of abuse, and then from there they just become trainers usually. Boxers and American boxing, you know, maybe they have 1 or 2 big fights a year, you know, or 4 a year at max. It depends on how popular they are and what the purse is. It seems like bigger the purse, the less they fight. So in this, like, and what I liked about the Creed films is they eventually evolved to the point where, you know, like Rocky he took too much damage and he wasn't able to fight. And I do like concepts like that. And I really do like the high stakes. This is a redemption story, of course, with Alex, like, because his brother was the Rex, the savior of the city. Like, you know, he was crowned Rex. And what's so great about this story is, you know, Rex, the purple Rex here, you see Rex 232, used to be the people's champion, but now he's a disgraced Rex because his pilot died in the ring. And he's actually kind of more like a wild animal that they're putting a shock collar on for other Rexes to beat up. He can't really fight back, and he's basically being kept just for a sparring Rex. Like, so that, again, that's the name Inglorious Rex.
So the strain on the pilots is tremendous, physically and emotionally, right? It's like,
right. Their neural system. So the whole thing, they plug into the backs of them. So that's the hoses you keep seeing on Alex, kind of coming off the suits and off of Anna on her cover, is that plugs into the neural system. Like, literally their neural systems link up. So like with him hitting the focus mitts there with his dad, like he has to you know, like their neural systems are like, that's why they're cloning fighters, is they have to be able to throw a right hook, you know, and they have to have their range and muscle memory. Like, this is again why sparring and focus mitts and pad work is such a big part of, you know, training as a fighter, because that you have to understand your range of motion, right? You have to understand contact and all of that. But on top of that, there's also things like fight camp and what they call road work, which is like running 4 miles a day, you know, 3 rounds of jump rope, you know, all the physical stuff that they may work in. If you've ever seen any documentaries on, like, there's actually some documentaries out there on Muhammad Ali's fight camps and stuff like that, where they've done some recordings and stuff. You know, he used to box with Joe Frazier as a sparring partner before they had that famous fight. But these things would really, once I got around the robot thing, that robots really wouldn't work against giant monsters that are attacking the city, because I don't think munitions would really work on that scale and stuff like that. I'm no gun expert, but it just seems kind of hokey. So I'm kind of getting rid of that, and it's really about physical abuse that these things are fighting. You know, I really want that monster on monster thing. And it makes sense that they would, you know, one, get away from robots because of the breaking down and maintenance. But the clones would literally be cheaper. All you got to do is feed them, though. That's the problem. But the problem with these giant clone monsters is you know, they're basically dumb beasts unless the pilots are jacked in and they share the same neural system. So that's kind of, and there's a story element in there too. I'll get into later in the book why they look different. Like, all the Rexes kind of look different. They have different, like, some different abilities and stuff that I'm working in there. So I'm still trying to work in some cool superhero stuff.
I like that you give a human element to the Rexes too, though. Because,
right.
And they're living tissue. They're living beings.
Right. And well, that's where I went down that crazy idea of why giant robots wouldn't work. These things would be super cheap compared to building like a giant Gundam robot that saves your city, because, like, they get beat up, sure, they're damaged, but they have an immune system and they heal just like any fighter. They you know, they for the most part, they heal back from most injuries given enough time. So these would be cost efficient things to fight giant monsters.
Nice.
Would it be too much of a stretch to say, judging from your shirt that you're wearing right now, could a sequel down maybe issue 4?
Thank you, Andrew.
Could there be a conquest of the planet of the Rex? Maybe?
Oh, maybe.
Because
with a Caesar?
Yeah.
I mean,
You're the best.
Well, that's the best thing.
Take it down.
That's the best thing about this, though, is like I get to design different Rexes and what they look like, and mess around and play around. Like with Anna's Rex and things like that. Like, I mean, if I want one that looks like a kind of more of a monkey, and I feel like drawing a monkey, I can kind of work that into the design. There's not a set palette like. The big bad Rex, of course, he has like a mohawk and stuff like that, and more like a alligator type skin. Some Rexes will be a little bit more squid-like. I am trying to keep like basic, like I'm not trying to have Rexes with 4 arms and stuff like that. I mean, that would look really cool, but because I'm working in that competition angle in there with them fighting to stay fit and everything, I'm still trying to treat it like there's weight classes and stuff, and I don't know. That's the one thing I'm battling with myself as a creator on this book. Would it be fair for a Rex to fight a Rex with 4 arms? You know?
Now, do they have free will? Do these Rexes have free will?
No. But again, that's why they need the pilots and their clones. Is like I basically the Rexes are like a car without a key, and the pilot's the key. Like turn on, like because they built these giant monsters this way to keep them from turning on the city. Nice. Like that's the thing. Like they're real. So like Rex right now, like he's kind of like a dumb beast that gets beat on right now by other Rexes as a sparring Rex. Like he, and if he does want to snap back and fight, like they keep a shock collar on him to keep him from punching back and stuff. So.
But see, this is nice, though. There is a little bit of humanity or animal in them. Because unlike in Pacific Rim, where they're just a bot, right? When the humans got in them, they're just a machine. And with the Rex, you can feel some empathy towards him. Gosh, this thing is now just getting beat on by everyone else. There's a little empathy because he's like an animal to someone.
On the human side, I really have a big family thing here with, his dad. So, like, Alex is choosing to be to step up and be a Rex pilot. Well, to his dad, he lost one son in the ring. So Alex is choosing to, but on top of it, he's actually choosing to take his brother's Rex as his Rex in the ring. So he's already compromised. It's not a pure genetic clone of him. And his brother was Southpaw and he's Orthodox. So they're completely out of sync. And he's doing it as a type of redemption, right? But his father is going to be a cornerman, and he basically has both sons in the ring and their life at risk. So there's a real family dynamic that I'm working into this, and it's a very that's the heart of the story, and when it gets down to it. So I really like that type of cornerman family dynamic I'm working in there, and the whole redemption. This is a story of 2 underdogs, and I love that underdog story. It's always the best story, whether it's like the Russell Crowe Cinderella Man thing, or Raging Bull, again, another favorite boxing film of mine. And I've met tons of fighters overseas, and fighters, if you ever get to know them and meet them outside of the gym, I mean, they're very jolly, fun people. But if you really talk to them, there was some fighting documentary. It's like you'll never see a rich white kid be a fighter. They usually come from very tragic backgrounds in some weird way, or very poor backgrounds. It's not a rich person's sport. It's not a well-off, educated person's sport. Not competing anyways. I mean, like, usually there's a reason there. And what is that story? A fighter wants to fight. And I really in the story want to really examine, Alex, why he's fighting, what's happening, what was there before. And we're offering Starlight caps here. If people missed out on the first time, we have a new Kelsey Shannon cover.
Nice.
It's an awesome cover.
Yeah.
It's a great cover.
Gorgeous.
Hey,
that's the thing, though. It's really Billy. Just really quick. What's really pleasing is because Indiegogo and stuff like that. That's almost like that's become like our local comic shop, right? We go there, we browse, we see the stuff. I have to say, man, your artwork stops. Like I saw it. Like I saw that first before I even realized you had that out yet. I saw it come up and I stopped and looked. I'm like, oh shit, Shane Davis's new campaign's out. But it immediately stopped me. The art is absolutely incredible, and your character designs are out of this world, like literally like out of this world, man. Like what inspires you to create a creature, a clone that looks like this? It's incredibly, they're amazing looking.
Yeah, they all look different. I'll see if I can pull one up. They're all different. With that Rex, I got really hung up on his skull shape. Like I really wanted like a type of turtle beak.
Yeah, okay.
I wanted the tusk to kind of shut and lock together in a way that they're kind of like a mouth guard without being a mouth guard. I really thought these things would be engineered for punishment. So I believe it or not, I thought of a turtle beak and a mouth guard. Those were the two things I thought. And I really liked the idea of like his suit or his jaw. I'm really into like, this sounds weird, but animal skulls, like and anatomy and stuff.
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
I got you. Yeah.
So like the way just the opening of his teeth closing and stuff like was really cool. I grew up with like handling horses a lot, and they have very weird mouths and skulls in a weird way. If you ever had to check like a horse's teeth or had to get
every
in there
weekend.
Yeah, so like I've just always been amazed by animals' teeth, whatever it is. I had to mess with cattle a lot and horses as a kid, and that was something too I liked about this is that this handling of them like kind of like a livestock, but so I'm working in a lot of that into it also, like like they have corrals and stuff they're in, and I'll show this. This is a bad guy design, his pilot suit. So I'm always looking at colors and the design too. Like, let me make sure I'm opening up the right thing.
Yes, this is really interesting. I like that you bring fighting overseas, like the nature of that. Because I've been to Thailand and I've seen the fights in Bangkok a bunch, and I agree with you that there's a purity about it, right? That isn't what we experience here in the West, right? It's because, like you're saying, they're fighting because they got to eat, and they're usually probably from a poor community out in the sticks, training, and this is their chance. And I like that feeling in the fighting, right? That versus like, maybe the big money angle. I like that innocence in it.
Well, and that was something too that I really liked, that idea of fighting to be champion or fighting for glory. When I would go to Dejrana Stadium and what there was I was in Bangkok, and one of the fights, like they were like, "Hey, this is a big championship fight," and and everybody's screaming, everybody's roaring. It's on TV. They had these weird rafters hanging up where if some dude fell off his seat, he would be just dead on concrete automatically. These guys were like something like 20 feet piled on top of each other for this big fight. And it was an okay fight, but it was the fighter's last fight. So he didn't really put it all there. Like this was his last fight, retirement, and everybody's like cheering. And then they just call it, he's the winner. It wasn't a knockout or anything like that. And I'm like, oh, and they're like, yeah, now he's done. I'm like, well, what does he do now? It's like, he's going to have a whatever farm. I can't remember what these things were called, but they smell horrible. It's like this big green fruit I wish Yanzi was here. She would know what it is.
You talking about the durian or
durian fruit?
Yeah,
durian. Yeah.
Have you tried that? That's the one that smells bad but tastes really good, right?
It smells like rotten flesh, and I wouldn't say it tastes good.
No,
I mean,
like it's a fine custard.
That's what they tell you to get you to eat it. I mean, like,
I want to try it. I want to try it. It looks good.
Have you ever tried it, Billy?
I never even heard of it. What is it?
Durian. Yeah.
We can only get it frozen here.
Like, what is it? What does it do? What's so good about it?
It smells like ass. It
looks like an alien egg. It's really big. It looks like an alien egg. Seriously, in nature, only elephants can crack these things open, I think.
It's horrible.
It smells like rotten flesh. And there's basically these giant seeds with a small membrane of fruit you can eat off of it.
And what's the point of eating it? Why eat that instead of eating like an apple?
Because they don't have apples.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
don't
They
know.
think it's really good, and they actually have a weird price mark. My point was, this fighter was like that was his. This is where he was going to retire and do is open one of these because they pay a lot of money for these things. Like evidently, the farming is really hard, and there's different like there's pedigrees of it too, like cheese. Like some durian you pay more for than others. Like so. I don't understand it, but these fighters, it's they don't make a lot of money exactly overseas, and it's a way to feed their family, and they retire fairly early. They take their money and they try to do the best they can. They start, like I said, there's a couple of guys that are superstars, like Bukau is a big superstar. He's like the Mike Tyson of Muay Thai, but he left kind of working within Thai fighting, and he does Top King fights, but that's actually more towards Japan.
Hang on, we're getting an interruption here. Hang on, I think we got to. Oh snap!
Sneaky.
Hello, Dan Fraga.
All the smooth people. All the smooth individuals are hanging out. I sensed it.
What
you
is up,
sensed
Mr.
it. Well, I'm
Boom?
glad you did.
Yeah, man.
I mean, Billy, did you see how Dan has an intro? Did you note that? And you don't have an intro.
That was not lost
Dan
on
just
me, man.
pops up out of the blue every now and again. He has an intro.
It's
Please
not
take
lost
that up
on
with
me.
Niall.
Not lost on me at all.
I think I'm gonna make Billy an intro. I think I'm gonna
like
make
that.
one.
The WB frog. I'll have like, hey, it's Billy Tucci. I'll have you dancing in, buddy. That's what we're gonna do.
I think it needs some '80s,
having my right
80s
time.
metal, 80s metal with bombers dropping bombs on people,
dropping mullets on women,
and then Billy playing guitar gets thrown out.
dropping mullets on women.
Shane, how are you, buddy?
Around.
Good. How you been?
Doing good, man. It was good hanging out with you on the
Oh yeah. Just
love
last night. YouTube time's so weird, man. That was last night. I forgot.
It was bizarre.
And anybody not checking out Dan's new pages coming in from Black Flag is missing out. Have you seen these line art pages coming in? I mean, Black Flag is going to be pretty mind-blowing.
I saw it on the tablet, on the iPad last night because
it's just incredible.
Last night, too, guys, if you don't
pages,
remember. I don't know. If
I gotta fight with. Well, see, it's all part of the plan, Shane. I don't know if you know this, but I have you and Malin fighting each other, and you guys are so busy fighting each other that I'm in the back just kicking ass.
Oh, I never thought that, but I see it.
How can you fight with pages like this though? This is glorious. Man, this is glorious. Look at this.
You see that glow? See that glow in Inglorious Rex's hand? That's John Malin's soul being crushed.
Oh man! So what you're saying with every click of the counter, with more money means more money. Another little part of John Malin dies.
I don't
shit.
That's
deep. That is deep.
I just came from another stream where I saw Malin in the chat, and his exact words were, "I eat Shane's dinner."
Oh,
Ryan's asking Fraga, how many oars?
Haven't ate dinner yet.
How many oars? As many as it takes. As many as it takes.
As many, yeah.
Damn.
As many as you can roll.
Hey, can we watch the video?
Yeah, let's check out the video, man.
Check out the video, man.
Let's check out that video.
Yeah. Pardon me in my song. You can't cancel my throne. They ain't working like I did this on my own. Where we been? I don't know where to begin. All this dust on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than I'm a monster. Somebody call me past the doctor. I got a 6'6" for process. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game like you playing with me. You can double that loose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my brains. Something you can't tame, cause I break brains. I got the power. I got the keys. Cause I break brains.
to tell
Nice.
Shane that. Hey, Shane.
Ooh.
Nice.
Shane, this is the first time Harrison's watched your trailer. I told him about your book. Tell him what you said.
I want to read it.
Oh,
Nice.
Yes. That's what you want to do. Look at
That's
this.
what I
That's what I'm
want.
talking
Thank
about.
you for that.
Glorious.
Thank you for that. I'm trying to get this. Hey, okay, now I figured out. Okay, here. Let me share something.
Oh, there's an echo on the video? What? Did you guys hear an echo?
There was
I did.
a little bit.
I did not hear an echo.
It just
I
made
did
it
not.
sound more powerful.
Yeah.
I did it on purpose because
Yeah.
it's epic.
The reverb is legit.
So this is
Oh, yeah, what's that?
Anatomics Rex. So this is so basically the fighters end up with these biosuits that kind of the hoses kind of jack into the back of the they kind of ride in the back between the shoulder blades. So some of the Rexes like hers, obviously, like every time I come across one of these things, I can just draw the coolest type kaiju monster I like. So, I'm a big fan of Gigan from the original Godzilla films, right? That was the one with the chicken beak type thing. So, of course, like I worked that into this design a little bit. And again, like I was saying, I'm not cool with some Rexes being like, 4 arms or something like that. But then I kind of worked in some electric type tentacle things into her. So what's awesome about this, when I get into the Rex tournaments, I'm able to just, every time I have a different Rex, I can just make the coolest monster, pull from like either Godzilla monsters I really like, or something I like from a cool manga, or even just an animal. If I'm like, I see some color designs on some type of, bird from like the Amazon jungle or something like that. Or I really, like you were talking about, if I really just want to draw a cool monkey, I can just work that into a Rex.
Totally.
Like, so
I
it's
love that you have them.
I think
That you have them as sexes, so
Yes.
so that there are male Rexes and female Rexes. I like that too.
well, there's that, and then I have weight classes. So, like when if you hold your title in your weight class and you're crowned Rex and you're like King Rex, and you have the crown, then whenever the giant monsters attack the city, you're allowed to go compete. And what happens is it becomes like kind of like a battle royale thing, and I'll deal with that in book 2 and everything. But they do have some armor plates, but of course, like a lighter weight class Rex that maybe is only like 2 tons or something is able to move quicker, but the bigger Rexes, like which would be the ultra heavyweight or whatever, they move slower, but they hit harder.
Right.
So like, and that'll all be part of the story later on, why they're dealing with so many weight classes. I'm really basically trying to use the fighting weight class system and work it into the story, and it does work into the story really well, because if you work in, I don't know, I guess some video games, they have these things called tank class characters, where they're just a big shield, slow moving, heavy hitting character, and then you have the really quick characters. And I'm really trying to work that into part of the story, why they have these weight classes. And of course, sexes, I'm not going to be sexist in this book. I want some women in this book, but women monsters not so sexy. Women that pilot monsters, they're sexy.
That's awesome. A game that has that sort of class system is Mario Kart. When you go and select what car you're going to get, some of them are heavier and better in turns, and some are quicker but they're slippery. And it's really cool. I like that. I like that you're doing that with fighters.
There's I can't think of the name, but there's a Blizzard game that they did that's very popular, and I'm such a boomer right now, I can't think of it. It's driving me crazy. I actually have the art book for it.
Do you do title belts for these monsters? Like, do they have title belts or anything?
Yeah, if they're crowned Rex, that's the digital crown that's hanging above Rex 232 in one of the images. Yeah, if they hold the crown for their weight class, but that's again part of the story, right? Like, if you have the title Rex and you're holding it, you're always being challenged. So, it's, they're constantly fighting just to hold the title, to be the protector of the city. And of course,
thoughts on doing a digital crown NFT?
Oh yeah, there you go. Look at that.
I'm
I think that's
kind
a
of
must.
avoiding
NFTs,
the
man.
NFT thing.
Bring the
like,
NFTs
Dude,
to the campaign.
I don't think I would avoid it, Shane, because I think, Dan, you're right. Like the amount of money currently moving around in that arena, it's like you might as well dabble in it, because if it is part of the future, why not be
It'll
it?
give a spotlight on your book too. You'll have like
Yep.
one of the first campaigns with an NFT, and it's also functional with a story because it's digital, right? Like it's a literal 1-for-1 thing.
I've heard some backers kind of against it, so I'm not. I'm waiting.
But you only need one
guy to
we gotta
buy
have a
it.
show on NFTs. I've been talking to Dr. Blevins about it since January or December.
Yeah.
It's,
I wanna dive into
I
this,
mean, the
man.
amount of money being tossed around there right now is bonkers. I mean, it's
incredible.
And it seems like, with Shane and you and people like you and Dan who have art and a legacy in art, that capturing it in the form of an NFT just
I have
has
the
value.
original. I have this, if I may.
What do you have, if you
I'll
may?
show you. Hang on. And I'm sorry, Shane.
It ain't
No,
no
you're good.
NFT. I'll tell you that much.
No,
It's
well,
ain't
actually
no
on
NFT.
paper. It's on real paper. I tell
Yeah,
you.
I did do
the thing is,
a
with the
nice.
real paper, the image with the real paper.
Oh, sorry. Someone was
give
throwing
me
up a
one,
card.
give me
Sorry.
one. God's sakes.
What was
I
that?
did
There we
do
go.
like my version of an NFT. This was a sign up
Oh,
giveaway
nice.
for people that did sign up, and we're doing another one
nice
as a stretch goal where it'll be Rex with the crown, and the crown disappears on the card.
Yeah,
So-
Shane, we really have to talk about
Really
music.
dope.
We got to talk about music and the
Did you almost fall,
lenticulars.
Tucci? Tucci, did you almost fall?
Yeah, I tripped on my flip flop.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Under his shirt, he's got that button that you push and you yell, "I've fallen and I can't get up." He's good.
Hmm.
And Deb will come running. Deb
Yeah,
will come running.
I'm sure she will. Anyway, but I have the original art to She Way of the Warrior #1. I have the whole issue, but I also
It's a
have
big bottle of water.
the cover. And I thought that it's something I'll never sell. But I thought if I make one digital copy of it, one NFT of, say, the cover, plus I have a scan of the original
Yeah.
pencils, that might be something special. But
That-
we'll
th-
say
that would be
we're gonna
cool.
NFT show. RT Bear,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. And I have to say,
Let's see.
Dan, your kid's got excellent taste. Harrison, you rock, man.
Shane's book's amazing. It's amazing.
Yes,
We're
Shane's
here.
book's
We're
great.
here celebrating this amazing campaign, getting it out there. Everyone out in chat. There's 91 of you right now watching. Make sure to share this campaign on your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook, your Tinder, whatever you're doing. Just get it out there. Get Shane on your stream. Do what you're doing.
Let people know.
Get
how
on your
blessed what
Tinder.
you stand
Whatever
for.
you're into.
Swipe yes or whatever.
Swipe
whatever
yes
you
or
do.
no,
Swipe
left
left.
or right. I'm sure Art's there waiting. He's everywhere.
To the left gets you. To the left gets you Inglorious Rex. To the right gets you black and white. That's how. It's
Operators are
Please.
standing by.
Operators are standing by. And if you swipe up, you might get a little black and white. Who knows?
You never know. You never know. Hey, thanks for getting me in here. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Actually, we have Art on. Art's hanging out tomorrow night, but I saw him in the chat. I said, let's bring him on. Let's get him and hang out a little bit. But I mean, Shane, this campaign's absolutely incredible, dude. Now, with the designs of this that you have going on, you've got your, you can pledge to be in the book. They can be spectators in the book.
Right. Yeah. I thought because it's a tournament, I was like, we could have some fighter names as long as it's appropriate and we approve it. Like you can come up with I don't know, Todd, Spicy Punch McFarlane. I mean, Todd McFarlane wanted his name in here, so there you go.
Spicy Fist. I thought
Spicy Fist. There you go.
Spicy
reach
Fist.
up and get that Taco Bell out of there.
Beefy spicy burrito.
I just thought that would be fun, and of course, I got tons of shots of the crowd. So if you want to be drawn into the crowd, booing or cheering, I guess
Well, I'm thinking of that big. Remember the Muhammad Ali Superman?
Neil Adams.
Yes.
Full
Yep.
cover. Yeah, you should do something like that.
I was talking about that on the tribute thing. Were you there, Billy? Did you come
No.
into the Joe Kubert tribute?
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah.
I've got a.
Yeah,
I've got a run, Niall. Thank you for having me on, dude.
Yes,
Shane,
Adam.
pleasure to meet you. Art,
Nice meeting you.
as well. Dan, always.
Hey
Pleasure
man,
your company,
I
really.
gotta see how fatherhood's treating you, brother.
Yes.
I know. We
Amazing.
I have something to send your way here this week, and so
All right,
we'll chat about
we'll catch
that.
up. All right, brother.
It's so secretive.
Yeah, brother.
Secretive code.
Yeah.
Secretive code. They're
Take care.
making hot dogs.
I am.
About that Muhammad Ali cover, it's funny. Joe Kubert drew that originally, and then the Muhammad Ali people didn't like the way Joe was drawing it or something, so they didn't approve it. And then Neil Adams basically used the layout from Joe. So
Wow, really?
Great layout.
yeah, because Joe had the original in his office, and I had seen it. And even people at DC Comics didn't know that it was a color. They even went to the color stages. You know how like everybody would do the Dr. Martin dies?
Yeah.
Back in the day, he had that up in the display case. So yeah, originally Joe Kubert did it, and then it's the same layout. I think even the crowd.
Joe Kubert did the entire, like a finished version of that wraparound?
Of at least the cover, but according to Nolan, he did the book, and then I don't know how. You have to understand, Muhammad Ali had to sign off on all of this.
Yeah.
So
Nah, Superman. We
Are the greatest.
are the greatest. It'll be Shane and Malin at the end of Fragtober, right there.
yeah,
With oars in their hands.
Hey, now Shane, getting back to the campaign. I did a little research. Starlight Cats did in its initial campaign, was it 30 days? Did you go 30 days for Starlight Cats before you went into
30 and 30.
So in 60 days, Starlight Cats did just shy of $84,000.
Mhm.
Right, and then you did your total was almost $128,000, which is amazing money. We'd all be happy with that, right? I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Are you surprised by the astonishing success of? Let me see if this is your campaign right here. While Niall's off,
It's 169,269.
oh, it's on his page. Dang it, it's on his page, so I got to take it down. Oh, is that you moving it, Shane? Oh, you Niall. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Niall.
Sorry, my son came down. I said,
Oh,
sorry.
okay. But
Yeah.
like, oh my God, you're closing it on $170,000, bro. In
Yeah.
your first 2 weeks.
About 2.5 weeks. I mean,
That's crazy.
yeah, about 2.5 weeks.
Malin says you can't do it.
I can't close 170.
Yeah.
No, come on, you'll close it.
I got 2 weeks to hit 170. Here's the thing. It did surprise me to answer you, Billy, but what surprised me before this was how many people like Starlight Cats, and they, on Twitter, they were like, "Oh, I read this book. I love this book. It looks so awesome. The story's good." And I kind of went on like hey, thank you. It means a lot that you backed the book, and more importantly, that you actually liked the book you backed. I was a little worried about that. I had written books, about 6 or 7 comics in my career that I drew. So I was, they always had decent reviews, but Marvel and DC were always like, we got a writer over here that wants to work with you. And I would always just end up, So that whole mentality that writers or artists can't write type thing always kind of followed me. Even if I had good reviews, it didn't matter, because I did like a New God special for the Kirby 100 Year special, and had really good reviews, and everybody liked it. But then right away they were like, you need to work with this person over here,
Well, John Byrne was an artist writer. I mean, there's been
Frank Miller,
Yeah.
Walt Simonson.
But it's a writer-driven market is the thing, and part of a writer-driven market is they are kind of almost more powerful in some senses than the editors if they're a big-name writer.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's a pendulum, though. It's a pendulum. You'll find for a while artist-driven, writer-driven, editorial-driven. It's a pendulum.
Yeah.
At least in the mainstream. Here in Comicsgate, we do what we want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll
Do it well.
And do it
Yeah.
well. Yeah, do it well.
Yeah. Well, we have pure intent, which is to entertain and respect our customers.
right.
I have to say, man, it really is. And I mean, Shane, this is your second campaign, doing the Comicsgate thing. Fragga, you're into the Comicsgate thing. Or, you guys are doing it as well. I mean, I have spent what, Billy? We've had this channel for almost 3 years. almost 3 years, right?
2.5 years,
And
right?
we've played middle of the road for so long, and like, you know, it's time you got to just support those who support you. I mean, this will always be an open door for anyone that wants to, and any independent creator that wants to have a good talk about their campaign, talk about creating. It's here, but I mean, you got to support those that support you. And I mean, as far as what Comicsgate is doing, I mean, it's real. It is truly real, Dan, in what you're saying and what everyone believes in. I mean, it's the real deal, and it's there. It's just about creating great comics, and you get to create what you want, and no one has anything to say about it. And Shane, you're creating this great book, like you said. DC wasn't listening. You wanted to create a martial arts comic, they weren't listening. They didn't get it. Well, guess what? You have an opportunity to do it, right? And you're bringing it straight to the fans. The fans are doing that. It's great. I mean, it's unbelievable.
He's making 10 times the money, and
10 times more money.
Whole IP.
Yeah,
10 times more money.
Right, and you know, the sky's the limit. Like sometimes when you come onto a comic project, you really have a ceiling on what's the cool stuff you can do by, you know, the project that's there. Going back to what Billy was asking though, and this goes back to the Comicsgate thing, is you know, I was just retweeting people that like Starlight Cats. I was like, well, thank you, come again, here's my next project getting ready to launch. And I think looking back, I did have a good link between people liking the book they just bought, liking the story, liking the artwork, and here's another book. So I feel like I pulled in a lot of the people from Starlight Cats into this, but I also picked up a lot of people that, you know, wouldn't have bought Starlight Cats, and that was the thing. A lot of criticism has been thrown around my way, and it doesn't really land on deaf ears. It's just I always set into, if I was going to do indie stuff, that I was going to do two types of comics. One would be an all ages book, and then one would be more violence and martial arts stuff like this. So, and I never wanted to try to mix those things together. Like I really wanted to, because I would feel, to me, that maybe I'd be compromising one of the other qualities I'm trying to appeal to in both books. And you know, I to me, doing indie books is so risky that I definitely wanted to have two type of IPs I could, you know, teeter back and forth on. So
that's great though, because you want a wider audience, but you know, all ages, you can never go wrong with all ages.
Well, some of the first comics I read were Scrooge McDuck books, you know, and great. I can't shake that.
Those are the best.
Those are the Bigfoot comics.
Yeah.
I remember growing up with, classic. I remember the first set of comics I was given was from a barber, my old barber. They were sitting there and he looked at me and I was just enthralled with them. And I had a couple comics at home. I was probably like 4 years old. He's like, "You want those comics?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." He's like, "You can have them. Take every one of them." And I did. I still have them to this day. There were Tom and Jerry, some Flintstones, Scrooge McDuck, a couple Disney. I got a couple Looney Tunes. I mean, those
Richie Rich in there.
There's some Richie Rich in there, and I think there's even a Casper. I think there's a Casper in there.
The Harvey Toon books. The
Harvey Toons,
Harvey
yes.
Toons.
But I mean, they stick with you, and they were good comics, and there's innuendos in there that are pretty funny nowadays. But those comics, they stick with you. Like Billy said, man, all age comics are good. I mean, they're great. They're a great segue, gateway. I actually like seeing a lot of independent creators and some of guests we've had on, you know, even Comicsgate creators that are doing all age comic books. I think it's good because we still have to remember, like, we, as much as us 90s kids, for myself, love our 90s books, and we're buying the Extreme Studio stuff and Crusade Comics and DC and all this stuff. I mean, we love it, but we have to remember, like, I've got 2-3-year-old boys that I have to bring into this world still. You know what I'm saying? I need books to give them, to bring them into this world. So, I mean, it is all welcome. You know,
there's a big market. When I was doing Super Sons for DC just before I left for Comicsgate, I got letters. I got people, you know, saying, thank you. I can actually read a comic book with my kids. You know, there is a market out there for these books. People just aren't providing it. And so when Shane, you know, plugs in Starlight Cats, or I do Chrono Mechanics or whatever, you know, it's hitting a market. There are
definitely
people that want to share their books with their kids, and I applaud that. And also Shane, man, that was a huge success, man.
Yeah,
I'm like, that wasn't a small campaign.
Yeah, some of my first work was Marvel Age Spider-Man, which was something that Bill James had cooked up before he left, and it was basically sold to Target to be like a type of all ages book that Target would order a digest. So then Marvel would be like, how do we double dip this? And they would do 4 issues in the direct market that were lettered super big, like the lettering was bigger than normal, and then they would just shrink it down to these digests that would go into Target stores. And I was working on that and drawing Hulk, and they were basically redoing Stan Lee, Steve Ditko stuff. They would just take the stories and try to break the 9-panel grids and stuff they were doing and try to make it more modern, which it was really, at the time, I was like, this is taboo. I shouldn't be redoing Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, Spider-Man stuff. But I learned working on those issues that, the whole 2-3 page pacing, switch scenes, how they would get so much story, setup, conflict, resolution within a 22 page comic. And but I still remember the guidelines of those books. And it's interesting if you look back at those classic comics that those really were comics you could hand to a kid. Whereas like today's comics, you can't. Like, I don't know if I could, if I was a parent, I would have to go through the average issue of Spider-Man and wonder if it's got like a woke agenda or body or shaming or politics or whatever's going on, social politics in it, stuff like that. Whereas Stan Lee, they really weren't dealing with that. It was just a single issue of start out with Peter, Aunt May's situation, bad guy, fight, and then it would end back with a Peter situation. And I always liked that formula, but I really liked the idea of all ages books, and I had worked on them. So I understood there was an important thing because I was still working around Joe at the time, and he had a lot of back and forth with artists that had been licensing artists, and that was one of the first things I was a licensing artist for DC Comics, doing like T-shirts and tennis shoes, whatever product images that went on things. And something he said that sticks with me, and I found it out to be true even with Starlight Cats, is you have to sell the parent, not the kid. You have to make the kid want it, but you still have to go through the parent to get it to the kid. Yeah. So, and that's something a lot of people don't consider when they're like, kids will like my book. It's like, yeah, but you're still going to have a parent that says yes or no if the kid can buy it. And they're going to, and even today, a lot of people are reading Starlight Cats before they hand it to the kid.
Well, the weird thing about today is like when we were kids and we read comics, they were for kids. You know what I mean? Our parents didn't have to get involved. So now you have to specifically make, all ages books, and you have to announce it so that people know what it is, because there is so much of the other that you really don't want your kids to read. I remember getting the stuff from DC, you get the comps, and then, there's kids in the neighborhood and you want to give them the extra comic books that you're not going to read or whatever. And then you start going through them and you're like, no, I can't give these kids these comic books. This is horrible.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, Inglorious Rex isn't an all ages comic.
Hey, hey, Shane.
Yeah.
Harrison is primed for it. Tell him what you're going to be for Halloween.
Freddy Krueger.
Oh,
yes. Nice.
Awesome.
He's going to step into the first 3.
He's seen the first 3 and he loves them.
I haven't seen Freddy Krueger in a while. I need to go check those out again. I remember the first one being good. I don't remember. I think Dream Warrior was out. The
Dream Warrior was number 3. That one's good. The second one is kind of garbage.
How many did they do? 4?
9.
9? Shit, I'm like, how many did they do? 4? You're like 9.
They did 5. They 4 was the final whatever, and then 5 was the resurgence, and then they did a couple other resurgence, and then they did the Sam Bayer relaunch.
Hey, can I ask you guys something? 9. Do your wives like horror films?
No, she cries. Sorry, I cut you off. She cries at previews to freaking horror films. It freaks her out. It's horrible.
Like
horrible, as they say on Long Island. Horrible.
My
watch
wife
it,
doesn't
no?
care. They don't scare her. She's like me. It's like it's silly.
So
They don't scare
Yanzi
me either.
Yanzi was like, let's have a romantic movie night. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, let's watch RoboCop. And I'm like, what? So
That is a keeper, bro.
Yanzi grew up like really loving Aliens and Terminator and RoboCop and all that stuff, action stuff from the 90s, which people wouldn't think that, but this is a little secret. She actually has like a Terminator 2 tattoo. Like,
No way. Shut up.
a quote. It's a quote from Terminator, like something, the fate we make or something like that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, she has that quote tattooed on her side. Yeah, she's totally like into all of that stuff. I don't have that issue. I mean, if I'm like, Yanzi, can we please watch The Notebook? She's like, kicking me out of bed.
You know what? There's a
Can we
happy
just watch
medium.
The Notebook? Jeez.
There's a happy medium movie called Somewhere in Time.
Oh, dude.
Tearjerker.
Christopher
bro.
Reeves. It's a time travel romance, and Jane Seymour.
Jane Seymour.
Oh,
my
in
gosh.
that movie.
When was that? What year was that?
79.
79.
Oh,
The year my
79.
sister was conceived.
Yeah,
My parents did it.
I only remember the year because of the penny.
Yes.
Remember the penny?
Yes,
Oh,
the
that's
penny.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shane, you'll dig it, dude.
Dude.
I hate time travel movies.
What?
I gotta go.
Terminator.
No, I'm serious. I feel
Let's
like
talk about
time,
pencils.
No,
I
because
love
I can't see
pencils,
past. I can't see past this plot
do.
problem. Like it's like I think time is a human construct. I think we all live in one time, and that's just now. And the idea of past, present, and future. It's all like human
100%.
construct.
100%.
Except we have
not
memories.
a fake sweet girl, Yanzi. Not a fake.
Yeah, but that's we have memories. You're right, but once you die, they don't exist. Like
Are
the
you
past,
sure?
present.
Unless you write them down, and then they're transferred because like a meme, a real meme, not a joke meme, but the real definition of a meme.
Yeah, but I think what Shane's saying is it's a thought of the past. It's not the actual past.
Yeah, it's all relative.
What's going on?
Well, isn't time perception
Look
anyway?
at that. Sorry, I had to share it. Look at that.
Hello.
She's hot, bro.
Hello.
Look at that.
Dr. Quinn, medicine woman, I need a prescription. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I got a fever.
I got a fever.
I got
And
a
it's
fever.
18th century or 19th century medicine.
She was a Gerber baby. Did you know that?
She was the Gerber baby.
He was a Bond girl too, I think.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes, she was solitaire with the super long black hair. Come on.
Yeah,
Hmm.
good stuff. I
Hey,
mean,
like,
I think time travel makes good stories. I worked on one time travel book before and I hated it. And I think it just soured me on it. I don't know if I would ever do a time travel. I think I remember Time Cop being fun.
Time Cop's good. Back to the Future is good.
Back to the Future, yeah.
The future's
Mr.
great.
Destiny. Do you ever see Mr. Destiny?
No, what is Mr. Destiny?
Oh, that's a great one.
You have it on Laserdisc, Billy.
Is that the
No,
one with
I
the
don't.
radio?
On
It's
your
the radio
projection
one, right?
TV. Do you guys remember the projection TVs? That
Yeah,
it was
it was
a
like-
white
Yes.
screen, and then you
Wasn't
you
Three
open
lights?
up. Yes,
Was it green, blue, and
we had
red?
one.
Yeah.
So my buddies and I, we were huge in the local band scene, right? We played, local shows here in Connecticut, and another guitarist in the band was like, "Hey, we went to his house one day and we saw this projection. I'm like, oh my god, that's beautiful! It's beautiful." We ended up getting that projection TV. It was like 50 inches. It was insane.
Back in
46
the day,
inches.
that was massive.
It was like a theater in your home, and you open the wood cabinet, and the red, blue, and green light like came up, and it projected on the screen. It was unbelievable. Billy, do you have one of those? With
No,
your
my
Laserdisc?
father-in-law had one. My father-in-law had one and wanted us to take it. Daddy's like, no, absolutely not.
It sucks. I had a buddy who had one, and inevitably one bulb will go out. So you get you're watching red blue TV completely.
Yes, I
Green.
did. A drummer. I'm a drummer. Thank you. I'm a
Oh,
drummer.
I play drums too. But
I know, Art. That's why I said it. Just 'cause
yeah,
you're
but
here, and I
to your
love you.
point, Shane, how about like Christmas Carol? Like that is the
Whoa.
ultimate time travel. I think that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You like that movie?
I've never thought of that as a time travel thing, though.
He
I mean,
goes
I guess
back
it
to the
is.
past.
Oh, yeah,
He
Mr.
goes-
It is the ghosts.
He goes
No,
to
I gotta-
ghosts.
I like alternate realities. That's what Mr. Destiny is, and It's a Wonderful Life. What your life would have been if you did
A
this.
Wonderful Life is another one. Yeah.
That sort of thing.
You ever see Frequency? The one where they're talking through the radio?
Yeah. Dennis Quaid, right?
Dennis Quaid and Jim Caviezel. Good stuff.
It's incredible.
AKA Jesus.
Jesus.
So Shane, how many pages is the book?
I think we were adding pages, but right now it's 48 pages. But I think we have a stretch goal of adding some pages. Plus, we have a supplemental book, which is going to be a couple of artists and myself doing short stories called Blood, Sweat, and Tears. So that'll kind of probably, I think my story is basically going to show Alex's brother and some of his fighting career. So I kind of like, again, with Starlight Cats, whenever I do a comic story, and I got this from working when I worked at Legendary Productions, is they would kind of come up with a Bible for the world or the movie that, you know, the past situation with the character, their background, even if it doesn't make it into the movie, it just kind of helps you navigate how the character will revolve in the story around the situation or something like that. Right. So I have a lot of information on these characters and their background, and again, Alex's brother, and you know, the again, Anatomic, how she was a little kid in the street fighting, stuff like that. You know, that I want to tell and the supplemental. So it's a lot of work. I mean, I think the main book, with adding some pages, it maybe get up there to 56 pages, maybe more. You know, like that's the tricky thing with the fighting stuff, is you can always just add more pages. You just draw more punches, you know?
Yeah.
So I'd like to see more, you know, more pages being added to it as stretch goals. Just there's some awesome scenes in the ring. I really want to draw some awesome double page spreads and stuff like that. Panel spreads, not just a double page spread, but some awesome. I really want to get into some good slips, counters. I want to do some cool stuff with X-ray panels too, where they're fighting, where we start seeing bones, like broken ribs and stuff happening with the monsters. I like X-ray panels, but hardly anybody does them. I really also want to play with inset panels a lot too, with the pilots on the back and stuff. So there's a lot of weird layouts I'm wanting to experiment with this book that I generally don't get to do too much of. I was a big fan of Joe Kubert's inset layouts, inset panels, but to me, I find them hard to a page that needs them. You know, I like how he would do them, and he would just kind of force them into a scene, and he did it really great. I'm really wanting to do more of that, but do it with the pilots on the back, with inset panels to the reaction to the Rexes getting hit and stuff like that. I'm really trying to work this into the layout of the page, this whole different size difference between the pilots and the Rexes.
Nice.
That's freaking great.
That's the worst answer ever.
No,
no, it's not, man.
You know,
the idea of putting together a world Bible is essential. Like you said, it's like the reader may not know the pizza's that person's favorite thing, but you do, and it may motivate them.
Yeah.
Well, also these are independent ventures, so you want to try to stray away from, you know, maybe the restrictions of the mainstream, things that you couldn't do. So in this case, you know, try new things out, try different layouts.
Well, that's the one thing with the mainstream is you oftentimes have all the past, you know, these characters are fleshed out for you and stuff. You know, Batman's already established, Ra's al Ghul, all these characters, Scarecrow. And so unless you're making a new character in the Batman world, and even then you kind of already have that world built, and you kind of know the boundaries of that world. And, you know, like, whenever you do a crowdfunded book, guys, you have to really start from ground zero. And that's, some people, it's really intimidating, right? It's just blank paper. Where am I going with this? Like, what type of world am I putting on it? And in the end, it's like, there's that, but it shouldn't be intimidating. It's like, dude, the sky's the limit. My imagination, that's my limits. You know, what, you know, think now, maybe you overthink things. Like I'm overthinking weight classes of these things, and what does that mean when they're fighting the giant monsters outside the city, and how that works into the story. And some of this stuff seems really like I'm noodling the idea way too much, but I'm not gonna spend most of my story on that. That's just the blueprint for the world that I'm telling my comic story in, you know. And I really think that's very important for everybody with crowdfunding books to really establish that yourself, because you don't want to just figure that out later on, like when you're on like page 38.
It has to be real to you first and foremost, and then that will translate to the reading experience. So the better the world works, the more three-dimensional it works for you, then it will work in the comic for the reader.
Plus, if you could put all that down on paper, right, and you could write that all down, that's an excellent supplemental book, another pledge level. No, because people love that I love the behind the scenes stuff, you know, with roughs and with, you know, you talk about, you know, even you like you're trying to, you know, figure out the brother, you know, his story, and you just have a little paragraph about him and how he died in the ring. Was it that he just wasn't good enough? Did he make a mistake? Was it foul play? You know, like you just throw that little things in, and you have some drawings of him, you know, that complements the extra pages that will actually be story pages. And then you have a 12-page little, you know, ash can type or something like that with that, you know, the behind the scenes, you call it behind the ring, you know, or something behind the ropes or something, whatever the fighting term, or the cage or whatever it is in that universe, you know, and people, I would buy that. I would love something like
but
this.
It's those fine details though when you're building this universe, because like you said, you want this to go on, like you want to expand this like an evolving story, right? We were talking about aging characters and things. I mean, those little things, like they seem a little nuts at first, but like those are the bolts and the screws that put the whole machine together. Like you have to have that stuff.
Yeah, it's just, I think some people get hung up on it too much. I think it's important just to have that blueprint out there, because it helps you navigate where you want to go and how far you can push a character or something like that.
Guardrails, right?
Yeah, guardrails. Yeah. But once you have that laid out, like I have the extremes laid out, you know, when they're outside of the ring and they're fighting these monsters, like how many plates are they allowed to wear for armor? What type of weapons are they allowed when they're fighting these monsters outside? I won't even deal with this stuff till book 2, though. You know, but did I invest? I mean, I have that laid out. Have I sat down and drew this stuff? Not really. I have some loose sketches and stuff, but you know, I think that's important to think ahead. But I'm also not thinking so far ahead. Like I didn't know if this book would fund. To be honest, every time you click live, you assume it's going to fund. I didn't think it would fund this well, which is great. I'm excited. But then that gets me thinking more about book 2 and book 3 and, you know, things like that. So, but I luckily.
Oops.
I know we lost him. Well, anyways, he probably should get these character designs over to 6 a.m. Comics so that we can get these characters in the CG Royal Rumble.
Dude, when is that happening?
When is that happening? I think it's this week, the 25th. The 25th.
Oh,
I'm going to be in Huntsville, Alabama that day. I'm going to have to tune in. Yeah, doing a show.
We lost you there for a little bit, Shane.
Yeah. No, I was just talking about figuring out these worlds. Like, you know, I have like Starlight Cats 2 figured out and 3 and so on and so forth. For people at Reddit, you saw a big cliffhanger there with a big bad guy. Like all that stuff's kind of planned out. So, but yeah, I'm sorry. My internet's been dodgy with the Amish people lately.
Freaking Amish, man.
Yeah, I don't know what they got against technology.
Son of a bitch.
It's unbelievable.
Anyway, are you gonna stagger the books? So after Inglorious Rex, will you do Starlight Cats 2? Or are you gonna do Inglorious Rex 2 and then Starlight Cats?
That was the original plan. We're looking into that now because there's a lot of people asking for Starlight Cats 2, but there's also people backing Starlight Cats as add-ons with this. So we're getting like waves of new customers on Starlight Cats, that people that missed it the first time. So to be honest, that was the original plan, is to do, you know, Starlight Cats and Inglorious Rex, Starlight Cats and Inglorious Rex, you know. We're looking at that now because I'm seeing a big response to Inglorious Rex. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this.
Well, now you're working on a $300,000 campaign.
That's what some people say. I don't like to throw those numbers up though, because then it's like if I don't hit, to me, if I hit 170, you know, I did something John Malin said I couldn't, and that's enough for me. Like I'm keeping it humble. I'm keeping it humble.
I love that, Shane. I love that.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I think next time we have you on, I think we should do it on a Tuesday. And I don't know about you, Fraga, and Art, and Nile, but when we all get tracksuits, we call it Tracksuit Tuesday.
Yes,
I have tracksuits.
Tuesday. Yes,
Shane knows this.
Mm.
I have red, blue, white, and black.
We should do that. That would be awesome. Tracksuit Tuesdays.
You have black, red, and orange, Shane.
I'm sure I'll find them.
I need a color.
I don't know if I have black, red, and
different colors.
I have a tiger tracksuit.
Shut up.
Nice.
Let that tiger out.
Yeah. Somebody actually tried to imitate it on this doll. It's not exactly. It kind of looks like this, but not exactly.
Nice. Well, I do have to say, one of the Pop XP team was going to make it tonight, but she ran out. Now we have professionals on. We have Comicsgate Kings on the channel. Okay, but there's a Pop XP queen. And that's Miss Jennifer Van Damsel, and she's not able to make it tonight. She was gonna pop on, hang out with us for a bit, but she was out for a family dinner for her birthday, so it's understandable.
It's her birthday today?
Not hers, her brother-in-law or something. But she wants to say that she loves the campaign, Shane. She loves the art; it's amazing. The character sketch perks are awesome. She wants one. Just amazing campaign. She thinks it looks awesome and just wants to say it's great, and she will be backing it. And she totally supports what you're putting out there. She thinks it's awesome.
Hey, thank you. I every supporter, whether they have a Batman shirt on or not, that's cool.
There you go.
We'll get her in a tracksuit too.
Yeah,
there we go.
Tracksuit Tuesdays. What do you think?
Tracksuit Tuesdays.
It's got a ring to it.
I'm gonna have to go shopping.
I know. Everyone, hit up your local Marshalls and TJ Maxx.
That Nile and what I said last night. We're gonna start doing some Saturday morning breakfast.
Oh God!
What cereal do you like? What cereal is your cereal of choice, gentlemen?
All right, let's go. Shane, you're our first guest.
No, you guys go. I'll tell you in a second.
Okay. All right.
He's gonna go get some.
Well, actually, Dan mentioned Cocoa Pebbles the other day on a live stream, and I was like, since I was a kid, I was like, it's okay. Cocoa Pebbles are the shit. So Cocoa Pebbles, I just bought a box of them. I just finished it off today. Look at that.
Hey, you know what's really good is taking Count Chocula and Cocoa Pebbles and mixing them. I call it Count Pebula.
What?
Yeah, my kids are like, Dad, you're crazy. I said, no, I know what I like.
So what about Fruity Pebbles? Fruity Pebbles.
Now, Fruity Pebbles are far inferior to Cocoa Pebbles.
What? Fruity Pebbles mixed with Fruit Loops with some tricks?
Too much.
Dude, it's mind explosion.
I think I would have some sort of sugar coma, man.
You know what the worst are is Apple Jacks. I never got an Apple
Jacks are great.
They're great. What are you talking about? They don't taste like Apple or Jacks.
Yeah, you can't let Apple Jacks get soggy.
I love this. That's one of the most stoned things I've heard in a long time. Yes.
Well,
yeah, I think that I'm not a big fan of Count Chocula either. I wanted to because I was a monster kid.
All right, here you go. Ready? Best cereal first bite. Now, here's why do I say first bite? Because there are cereals that are amazing. Once you hit that milk, first bite, unbelievable. Frosted Flakes, milk, cereal, first bite, boom. But after that, it's done. It's done.
Man. Sliced bananas in that thing.
They sog up too quick.
They eat faster.
They soak it up.
You know, it might be my age, but Special K with the dehydrated strawberries.
That's not bad. That's not bad, actually.
The
That's pretty
strawberries
good.
are not bad.
Corn Pops, man.
Better than your tapioca pudding, though, Art. Better than your tapioca pudding.
You're buying some
I hate tapioca
when we go to the
pudding.
store, and that's final.
I love that. You're buying some when we go to the store, and that's
I'm muting these crazy.
Corn Pops are good, but you have to give Corn Pops like a minute.
Yeah.
And the same thing with what are the ones that they're circles?
What were the ones with the frog? Were those Smacks? Wait,
Yeah,
what were the
Sugar
ones that were
Smacks.
Smacks?
Sugar
Sugar
Smacks.
Do they still sell that?
Sugar
No,
Smacks.
they're called Honey Smacks now.
Yeah,
What do you think of
because-
Lucky Charms?
Oh, dude. That's my hands down top of the hill favorite cereal is Lucky
that
Charms.
doesn't
So why didn't you refer that to Art? Why is he eating Cocoa Puffs and not freaking?
No, because they're different. See, you have to understand something, man. Even when I'm on a diet, the one thing that I can give up everything. The one thing that gnaws at me is cereal and milk. But there are I like all cereal. Grape nuts with sugar on them.
Grape nuts. I love grape
cornflakes with sliced bananas.
Your kid loves grape nuts, bro. Is he like 65?
Nah, he's a good kid.
I just like
But if I'm gonna do chocolate, if I'm doing chocolate, it's not cocoa, whatever cuckoo for. I'm not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I like the texture of the Krispies, but I like the marshmallows of Shane's Count Chocula. So that's why if they made a marshmallow Cocoa Krispies, it's over.
Those marshmallows freak me out when they're too fresh before they get a
No,
little soggy.
dude, those marshmallows. Are the
I want them
best.
crunchy. I want them crunchy.
It's
dude.
like space marshmallows, bro.
I agree with Billy. Yeah.
I love 'em.
That's when I know it's gone bad. When they get squishy.
Yes.
No, you can keep them.
So, dude, are we gonna sit like a Saturday morning? We all get giant bowls. We invite all the cool people, and then we just watch like H&R Puffin stuff and freak out and tell how much we hate it.
We could do that.
What's H&R Puffin stuff?
Dude, you don't know H&R
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know.
Of course,
Come on.
Dan knows.
Yeah. I was more of a banana split.
Dude, I so want cereal. Like, I want to go. I remember in college, like when you'd go into like the cafeteria or their dining hall, whatever you want to call it, there was just like they had those freaking cereal dispensers.
Yeah, they turn the knob.
Yeah, freaking yes. And there was like 50 variety. It was like every cereal you can imagine. I want cereal now.
Yeah,
Damn you guys. Damn
My
you.
wife yelled from downstairs. She goes, "Captain Crunch." That shit would jack you up. It would hurt your mouth. That stuff was so crunchy. It never got soggy.
Peanut Butter Crunch was the bomb, dude.
Was it?
Which one?
Peanut Butter Crunch. There was a Captain Crunch peanut butter flavor, and that shit was
I agree with
badass.
you.
What was the one that was actually chocolate chip cookies?
Cookie Crisp.
Yeah, but
Cookie
they were like
Crisp.
little bowls, right? Though weren't they like tiny little concave?
Yeah, like what the hell? Like
Yeah, it's Cookie Crisp. They used to have like the burglar guy as their mascot, but then they're like, that teaches kids, stealing. So now it's a wolf.
Well, that's no better.
That's true. Yeah, it's a wolf now.
Oh, he wants to show
Blueberry.
you-
What?
Harrison wants to show you. He's got the blueberry. I'm not a fan of the blueberries.
Nah, me neither, man.
I'll go with the chocolate, or Fruit Brute or Mummy.
They used
You want
to
to
have they used to have cool toys in that. But
dude, I miss those days.
do they have toys in cereal anymore?
They do, but they're crap, man.
Man.
They're not as good. My favorite toy of all time came with Captain Crunch, and it was a glow-in-the-dark skeleton that you put together.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, I think I
They don't
remember.
do that anymore. They do.
No.
There are no toys in cereals.
There's
anymore.
coupons and games. Like,
I don't even see coupons. Are they part of the box?
Yeah.
Shane
Yeah,
fell
or
asleep.
QR codes for apps.
Like lately, it's just been maps on the back of the box, right? Like they just want you to do an activity on the back of the box, and they got away from all of the cool
Dude,
stuff.
we
I
gotta
remember
start
there
eating
being
on
like,
these shows.
I remember there used to be like stuffed animals and stuff. They just attached to the outside of the box.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I think they did that with Fruity Pebbles, like it was a Flintstone thing.
Yeah, I remember stuff being either in the bag.
Dude, we
With
used to
the cereal
pull
in
little
between.
figures out.
Yeah.
I still remember. What was it? Sure, like Scrooge McDuck and that whole like all those characters coming out of the cereal boxes. Like they weren't like action figures. They were just like they were already posed. You just put them
You guys
down.
ever figure out the game where you just because the thing is always on the bottom of the box. So the key is flip the box over and open the bottom instead of
And
the
get the
top.
toy.
And then you get the toy right
And you
out.
get the toy. Yeah.
You steal it. Look at that. Look at you. Look at you. Art, you
Well, we had 4 kids, so you made a rush for the. We had 1 box of cereal, like sugar cereal, we got every week, and so that box would be gone by the end of the day. So you make a rush for that, and you just keep eating it till it's gone.
Did you guys fight over the peanut butter to see who can open it up and break the peanut butter? Remember that? You had to,
what? Break the peanut butter?
Yeah, you know when you open the peanut butter, it's all smooth and on top.
I feel like we're on like a boomer.
Oh, I know what you're saying. It's got that film, and you gotta
cut that, man. That's
like a creme brulee, like peanut butter creme brulee.
Yeah, I've never seen that. Never seen that.
Open any jar of peanut butter and it's so satisfying to scoop with get the first.
Oh, you're just talking like that first scoop of peanut butter?
Yeah.
You remember that, dude? Is it Yoplait yogurts that have like the little bubbles on the top? You ever? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I didn't drink Yoplait.
I feel like Dan knows what I'm talking about.
I know Yoplait.
Those Yoplaits, they're like almost cone, not cone shaped, but they're like
it's like an inverted cone.
And any people out there, don't judge me for this because I'm trying to show the shape. But like you pull, yeah, there you go, Art, you got it because you're a drummer. You get it, you're a drummer. You pull the top, and there was like little bubbles, and you'd eat that first, and it was like a different texture. Yoplait yogurts, I'm telling you.
Soy boy.
That's like the peanut butter.
Have your Yoplait yogurt.
You love your Yoplaits, Billy, on Long Island, huh? I love them.
So delicious.
You say your ass like not air. Not air, it's
Do you guys remember Jello? There was like 3, 2, 1 Jello where it was like in layers.
Yes.
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 Nobody. I said this to a friend of mine. He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Almost like a parfait.
Yeah.
Right. Like
I actually love that, and they don't make it anymore. I wonder if some kid died eating it or something. Like, what's up with that? Like, where'd it go?
You, this is going to blow up. We could do
TJ.
We could do. I don't know if you guys have a White Castle. We could do White Castle Wednesdays.
Yeah,
you can keep that. You can keep all of that.
White Castle.
I'm not mukbanging White Castle ever.
If you're gonna eat White Castle, make sure you have a nice pair of knee pads.
I'll do it like this.
As you're hugging your fucking toilet. Shit now,
and then I'll top
onions.
Bro, did you just do that Rubik's Cube?
Yeah, I could. This is one of my hobbies.
Are you like one of those like?
No, I'm one of the. No, my record is 69 seconds.
What?
Wait, how many seconds?
69. Good number.
That's a great number, bro.
Yeah, 69. 69. My nephew can do it in under 10, so I feel like an old slowpoke.
God, man, I could never do that. I tried it once in like 9th grade. I gave up, or 8th grade it was when it came out.
Yeah, like
YouTube will teach you how to do it, man. It's all patterns.
Or you could use an app that I found.
Yeah, he learned.
There's an app. There's an app.
Yeah, you can.
You just put in the
you scan
pattern.
each side, and then it tells you face this way.
No,
turn this.
no,
oh, yeah.
no.
Yeah,
what? There's an app for that. That literally means there is an app for everything.
You know,
literally,
the things that come out of kids' knives that come out of their mouths. No, I'm
like
slipping
the same
because
thing, I guess.
No, sing
Unless your
no,
kid's
sing the
holding
song.
one.
Sing the song. He sang a song the other day. Sing it.
There's a problem in your knife. Get a poop knife.
He said if
Poop
there's a
knife.
problem in your life, get a poop knife. And I was like, what the hell is a poop knife? And my wife goes, oh, you don't know about a poop knife? And apparently there's this Reddit story going
about
around.
Someone cut their poop up with a knife.
Yeah,
right?
a guy had a big, massive hoagie-sized poop, and he asked his friend, he goes, hey, bud, I want to flush, but I can't find your poop knife. And he's like, what's a poop knife? And he goes, I thought every family had one. We had one on the side of our toilet that if a poop was too big to flush, you go in with a poop knife and you cut it up.
Yes.
And then everything's flushable. And I was like, this is bullshit. And she's like, sure, check it out. Search poop knife.
Wow.
So I did. And people are actually selling poop knives.
I thought I dreamt that till this moment right now. Like that was real.
There's no app for that, though. There's no poop knife app.
They are giant people. You will not find them in Texas. I know Texas. Everything's big in Texas. They don't sell poop knives.
Dude,
it's a northeast. It's a northeast thing.
Who's crapping the size of a Subway sandwich? Like this is like a 12-inch long.
Hey Shane, see what you got to look forward to.
You know who's crapping that shit? People who are freaking back in amazing books like this right here. Inglorious Rex comic book.
It's not all size, Art. It's density too. Like, I mean, there's a lot of factors here.
What's your water intake?
Yeah.
Density. It's
Come
a
on.
Play the
lot.
video. Can we play the video? I like that music.
I do like it. I don't
Yeah.
want to play it because they're going to say there's an echo, and I can't control it. I don't know where that goes coming from.
Well, mute us all then.
It automatically mutes, bro. I actually pulled the video. I illegally pulled it
Dude, I like
from
it.
the YouTube.
I'm okay with that.
I heard the echo. It's actually kind of cool. It's not bad.
It's not bad. All right, so everyone out there that was hating, actually, I don't think anyone was hating. Everyone's really nice except TJ James. I hate him. He's such a jerk.
Yeah.
Pardon me, my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 cents for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see.
What?
Word.
Insane.
That's
you
know
better
what?
than the poop knife, little frag.
I go right into places now when I order food. Pardon me in my tone.
Nice.
They're like,
Yes.
what's your order, sir?
Like a beef and cheddar.
Soup.
Yeah. Soup. He wants
I
a
need
soup.
that link to where you get that
Tomato
music from, all right?
please.
Where you choose all that music, that big music.
Oh yeah. You asked me about that. Did I not send you that?
Nah, not yet.
Where'd you get your music
Oh,
from?
Okay,
And I
I'm
want to talk to
actually.
you about the lenticular stuff. So just send me a message with your email and all, and we'll go from there.
All right. No worries. You know who I mixed that up with? Anna, that Star Wars girl, asked me about it,
Yeah.
and I guess I thought I sent it to you. I sent it to her, not you.
She's a
Billy. I'm
great
sorry.
human being, that girl.
Yeah, I'm
She
sorry,
is
Billy.
very talented too.
Very talented.
Hey, you guys, I'm going to take off. I got
All right.
show to do tonight. Hey, continued success,
Yes.
Shane. The book.
Thank you.
Are you gonna? When are you gonna see Malin?
That got canceled. Malin canceled on me. Oh.
He got scared.
No,
He
no.
heard you
He's
hung out
afraid of
with me.
success.
He heard you're hanging out with Shane, and he's like,
No, he heard the Pop XP is on a mission. That's what he heard.
Yeah.
Right, Tucci?
That's we're all about.
Right, we're just beginning, man. We're bringing worlds together, man.
Bro, we're bringing. See this right here? This is worlds right here. I'm sorry. I'm just
Right.
preparing.
Oh, by the
right
way,
now.
I retweeted your thing about like just bringing people together, supporting people to support you and stuff.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about. Just
Yeah,
really
we're
quick,
good.
seriously, like no joke.
stuff.
Like you hear the SJW thing, you hear this and that. Like I'm not even gonna say we. I tried to be an open book, right? I tried to just like, hey, bring all creators in. But you know what? At the end of the day, it really showed who supported who. And like I said, I will bring anyone in. I don't care if you're really an indie creator and you just want to share your stuff and you're down to be down with this channel, then you can come on. But I am going to focus on Comicsgate and I'm going to focus on the people that have supported us for almost 3 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the thing,
it's
man.
no joke, man. They've
That's the
had our
thing.
back, and not for nothing. Ethan has had our back since day one. Ethan has been such a great friend, such a great support, and the only disservice I can say that I personally may have is just not. I always share tweets and this and that, but I'd love to have had him on the channel more. And I want to do that more. Dan, I've had you on. Hart, I've had you on. Shane, it's your second time on. But like, I want to have more of that on here because Pop XP is really my channel that Billy has really kind of helped me with and doing stuff. But like, it's just about the indie community. And I am
Love
partnered with the best of the best, which is my boy Billy Tucci, who has been doing it since 1994, who has been showing you that you don't need DC, you don't need Marvel, you don't need that shit. You just do what you do, and you own your shit, you control your shit, and you do it. And here he is, 25 years later. The guy's my brother, best friend.
27.
Like
27 years later.
27. No,
Art to
we're not
Bear
talking-
invented comics, but
R.T. Bear invented comics, but I'm sorry, Billy took it to another level. I'm sorry, Art. You have Catwoman's cowl, and I hate you. No.
Well, the one thing that Billy did that I am jealous of is you never
No, but
stopped.
you don't
started, and then the industry kind of crashed in the mid '90s, and then I went back to Marvel. We had a baby. I kind of ran scared, and the market was shifting. But you stayed in the trenches, man, and you have a body of work to show for it. That She franchise, that IP you have, man, it's undeniable. It is undeniable.
You will not find a better man in the business, in the industry, than my boy Tucci. I'm telling you, he is the best of the best. No, I'm saying it. I'm saying it, bro.
Come on, man.
Hey,
You have everyone's back, no matter what. No matter what.
I'm gonna take off. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm gonna be taking off.
We
soon,
got
too.
Art
Yeah,
on
we gotta
tonight.
end.
Yeah, we're gonna all take off soon.
I want to say, man,
See
we
you,
had
Art.
coming on. We had a
Good
big
seeing
night, and I think it was from last night. Real quick, Shane, I'll end, but thank you all. We're closing on, we're over $158,000 on Indiegogo, so thank you all.
That's
Crushing.
insane.
This book goes to print, to the printers for proofing, I believe on Monday.
How much does it weigh, Billy? Because on my show earlier today,
like 5 pounds, I think.
Okay, yeah, on my show today, I was going through the campaigns. I showed Shane's, Ethan's, yours, Art's, all the professionals, some other ones, and I saw this. This was 488 pages, and I said this is big enough to beat my kids with. And I'm like, really, I just want to know,
If Harrison talks back, he chases you around the house with the poop shovel. What's it called?
The poop shovel. Okay, you got some different poops over there, bro.
That's that tri-state shit.
Get down in there.
Well, let's
I
play
have
now.
a poop
Let's play-
sword.
He's got a poop sword.
Poop sword.
Oh.
Minecraft. Nice. Oh, that's a
Chopping them
dinosaur.
turds.
Chop it up.
All right. Well, Shane, this has been great. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, man. You're awesome. I hope you come back again. Danny, you too. I'm telling you, man, we got to do Tracksuit Tuesdays, one Tuesday.
I'm
It
down.
does sound
That'd be
like a
fun.
thing to
And
put
we'll
on a
do either
calendar.
cereal on a Saturday morning or something. I don't know, Shane, if you get up, I see that you go live at like 3 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that.
I don't know how you do that, dude.
I don't know.
Wait till the baby comes.
Well, that'll probably mess things up a little bit. But we have weird hours. We just don't sleep like normal people.
Yeah.
I mean,
You don't need
Singapore
to. You
is
don't
like
need
a 12-hour difference. So, like, we've never really got our clocks set back.
Well, you're upside down then. Okay.
Or-
That's what Malin
yeah.
does too.
Yeah. I mean, but I actually don't sleep that much now. Like, so I don't know if it's going to
wait
change
till
that
you're
much. when the
training.
baby
Till,
comes.
Pterodactyl comes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pterodactyl's gonna wreck it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for having
All
me
right,
on,
guys.
guys.
Blame it.
Serious.
hanging
Thanks
with
for
you,
having me
Shane.
on.
Seriously, and everyone out there, just really quick, anyone, we've got 120 people watching right now. Please just get out there. Your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter. This golden age. This is dude. This shit is crazy right now. What's happening, everyone? Seriously,
It's the
What's
platinum
going
age of
on?
comics.
This is the platinum age of comics.
Yeah.
Golden age is in the past. Platinum age is the future. Follow Shane doing what he's doing. Share this campaign on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram. If you have an established YouTube channel or whatever, I mean, reach out to Shane. Maybe he'll come on and chat. I'm not going to speak for the
definitely.
gentleman, but if you can get him on there and talk about the campaign, please do. This is awesome. You're on the road to 200, my friend, not 170. You're on the road of 200. You have 13 days. That is very realistic.
It
for you
is
to hit
very
200K.
realistic.
Oh, yeah,
It
dude.
So let's make it happen. Shane is one of the best that ever fucking hit DC. He's now on his own. Make that shit happen, people. 200K should be on that mark within 13 days. Let's do it. Shane, thank you so much for coming on, man.
And thank you for coming on to our little show, Shane. We really appreciate it.
I like being on it. I wouldn't call it a little show. This is a pretty big show.
Yeah, well,
Good show.
It's because I have
and,
intros.
And
I
I'm
have
really
intros.
looking forward to Inglorious Rex 4.
Yes.
Conquest of the Planet of the Rex.
Conquest of the. You're
sounds like a lot like a movie I've
on the
heard.
plot point I have, Billy. You're
I've
jumping up
heard-
and down on it.
I've heard of something like that before. That's weird.
Yeah.
Planet of the Rex.
Planet of the Rexes.
No spoilers,
CG
dude.
is the mainstream. That's right.
Amen.
There you go,
There
bro.
you
Yeah.
go. Amen.
All
All
right.
right, everyone. Have yourselves a great night. Thanks for tuning in. We will be live tomorrow night, hanging out again, having fun with Mr. Art T. Bear, who is hanging out with us tonight. So come and join us. You all are welcome. Again, to you, Shane, Dan, if you're bored tomorrow night, come hang out. Have some fun. Grab a drink. Have a smoke. Do whatever you want to do. Cut some poop, little man. Do what you need. What needs to get done. Cut some poop. Cut some poop. But either way, have a great night, everyone. We hope you have a great night, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
You guys are fantastic. Thanks a lot.
See you guys.
Thanks, Shane.
Yep.
Thanks, Danny.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on Pop XP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the Pop XP and over on Instagram at the Pop XP. Thanks again everyone, and we'll see you soon.